Hey guys, welcome back to my channel this week. And thank you to the new subscribers I got this week. I always want to welcome and thank everybody because I do definitely appreciate it. And without subscribers, there'd be no YouTube. So thank you so much for, trying to support my little small growing channel. So today I wanted to talk about 3 reasons why you're still single. I struggled a lot in my single time, just trying to figure out what it was that God was trying to tell me during that time. And I will say that I really didn't get it until very recently, and recently like this year. And I had said, well, actually, I guess 2018, but so I had said that when I met my current boyfriend that my mind had really changed in the way I was thinking and approaching relationships and things like that. And so I just wanted to share a couple things, and hopefully they will help you guys to maybe search your heart and see if these things are applying to you so that you can find your future somebody, the one that God has for you. So stay tuned for my 3 reasons why you're still single. So I didn't wrap my hair last night, so don't come for me. It just looks a mess, and I had it in a ponytail, and then I was like, I look bald, I feel like, in camera with a ponytail, so it is what it is. This video probably wouldn't get done if I felt too much pressure to be like all glammed up in my videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. And my first one is you don't create opportunities where you can meet new people. So in relation to why you're still single, if you're like me, like I'm really a homebody, and my boyfriend always is like, you need to get out, you need to do more things, you need to like meet people, blah, blah, blah. And it's like so annoying because I was like, look, now I keep my circle small for a reason. I don't deal with just anybody. I'm too grown to just let anybody into my life. Everyone that claims to be is not your friend. Everybody that smiles in your face, everybody that compliments you, especially people that compliment you, but even the ones that don't, that are still, scamming on your page, so it's like there's so many frenemy situations. It's like, look, if I feel like I have my life together and in order and things are going good, I don't want some toxic person in my life to come and mess it up. Like, I've stopped talking to people that I feel like, I can't trust, or that just don't have the same values, because it's important. You just really can't let your mind and your heart get tainted by somebody else. So I get not wanting to really put yourself out there because the world is a scary place. But at the same time, just like a couple things that I did, and it didn't necessarily help me meet anybody because, at the time, like, really number 3 I feel like is the biggest thing, so I'll get to that. But it didn't really help me meet anybody, but I feel like these things have the potential to meet people. So first off, like joining church groups. So I joined some church groups. I also volunteered with a youth group at one of the churches that I belong to. And so I really tried to get involved with things where I felt like I was going to meet like-minded people. And so those are just a couple things. There's all kinds of things you can do, but Bible studies and things like that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a co-ed thing, because I feel like a lot of the time you hear people say, well, I met them through such and such, and so if you're not like an online dater or something like that, it's really hard to meet like-minded people. I guess sometimes people just meet, at church, like, oh, I saw them over there sitting in the pew, and God just spoke to me and told me they were the one. Like, I don't know. I guess that's possible. But definitely putting yourself out there as far as meeting new people in general. So it doesn't need to be a place where you're going and seeking out a man or a woman or anything like that, but definitely meeting new people that are like-minded. So maybe they can be like, oh, who would be good for you, or who you should meet, or hey, come to this barbecue next weekend. There's a lot of single guys that I know, or single women that I know, or whatever. So definitely just doing those kinds of things I think will help. Like I said, especially if you're a recluse like me. I mean, I'm not like a cat lady or anything, but at the same time, I like to be home. Like that's my happy comfort spot. And so, I mean, I'm not the type to go out a lot, and I'm not a bar person. I'm not a drinker. Like, on Friday, if you saw my Instagram with my purple hair, I went to a wig party with some of my friends, and so we went out to dinner, and then we went to a bar after. But like the bar scene is not my thing at all, so that's definitely not what I'm trying to tell you to do. It's just, I mean, going to those places reminds me of why I don't go to those places and why I don't seek them out and why I don't feel like, oh, this is something that I want to do on the weekend, like, oh, here's a good idea, let's go, bar hopping. Like, I'm just not that person, and I don't feel like you're gonna meet other Christian people there, obviously, because if that's not really a place God wants you to be, why would you meet the man of your dreams or woman of your dreams in a bar or the club? I know, what is it, Usher? It's got that Love in the Club song, but whatever. That doesn't happen in real life. But definitely find ways to volunteer or to just get yourself out there. Join a group, join a club, do something. And, take yourself out of your comfort zone as well. Like I said, me being a homebody, very introverted. So I can sit at home and think about stuff. I don't need somebody to talk to all the time. I'm not the type of person that talks to my friends all the time on the phone either. Me and my friends go months and months without talking and pick up the phone like nothing's ever happened. Like we're not angry, we're not mad, we're just living our lives and we're busy. So I definitely think that there is some merit though to putting yourself out there in a place that you're comfortable. My number 2 is you're dating the wrong men and you're ignoring the good ones. I think that that's a lot of the reason why women stay single in general. I can't speak for men, and so I can estimate that a lot of men are probably picking the wrong women because they're looking at looks and they're like, oh, she's got a big butt, or oh, she's got, a nice chest or whatever. So I would say that I think that men do the same thing, is that they're thinking, oh, because they're beautiful or because they have a nice body, that what they're gonna be wife material. Like, I mean, I don't really understand why they would think that. I mean, there's so many flaws in that. And then the thing about, looks and us dating people for attractiveness is that it fades, she might have a nice body now, but what about when you have a kid or two, or, she ages and you're no longer attracted to her, or what if she gets in an accident? What if something happens that disfigures one or the other of you? I mean, there's just so many reasons why you shouldn't base, attractiveness on, any type of merit for you finding your spouse, because any number of things could sit up and happen. And so you have to fall in love, I think, with the heart of the person and the mentality and their personality and their consistency and their habits. Like, you have to just look at the overall person and find out what you can deal with, what you can put up with, and what you can't. So I just think that as a general rule, picking somebody based on how they look. I mean, initially, you're attracted to who you're attracted to. And I understand that to an extent. It's just that I think that sometimes we hide behind that and we feel like we're justified in, oh, well, I want this type of a person, although that type of a person doesn't have, the qualities that you're looking for. It's just surface level things. I mean, especially if you like to have intellectual conversations, you're not one for small talk and things like that, then you're gonna have to find somebody that is like-minded, and that might not come in the package that you want. And then, too, sometimes you're like, oh, well, they don't make enough money, or they don't do this, or they don't do that. I'm like, okay, but what do you have the potential to do? Like, what are you doing that's getting you to where you want to be? I mean, I think that that's one of the most important things, because I don't feel like, I mean, yeah, like I have a couple of degrees. I'm still in school. I'm trying to get my master's and things like that. So I still have, some school left. Do I have to get my master's to get a good job? No, because yes, I already have a good job. And, yes, I'm independent and I support myself and I have all my own things. So, no, I don't need a man to support me. I don't need a man to take care of me or pay for stuff. It would be nice. So, but at the same time, it's like I'm not looking to marry somebody that's going to be so financially secure that they can take care of me. Like, I feel like a partnership and us building a team and us building an empire and us building together is really the key. Because like I was thinking about this the other day, I was like, well, even if I married somebody that was rich, like they'd probably be a little bit controlling or, it's just, we think that we want certain things, but then we don't understand the repercussions of it. And also, just in general, what comes behind it, which I guess is still the same repercussions, but, what kind of personality they're going to have. Somebody that has it all together is going to want somebody else that has it all together, who's going to want to take care of somebody. The difference is that a man that has everything together, they want somebody that's going to compliment them. So you can't be, just living any kind of way and feel like you're going to luck up on a good man. Like, does it happen? Yeah, there's some rags to riches stories out there. That's why there's the same. But at the same time, it's just not realistic. I mean, mature people that have it together want other mature people that have it together. But that's not to say that you overlook people that are in the process of getting it together. And it's the real big issue is that some people are like, well, I don't want a man that I have to take care of. No, you shouldn't take care of a man. However, I do feel like if you have somebody that is telling you and actively working towards their goals, then that's a completely different story. Now, somebody that's telling you they're doing these things and they're not actively working towards these goals, that's a red flag. That's a completely different story. So, I mean, I really don't see how my girlfriends, like some of them can date like jailbirds. Like, no, I'm just not. Like, they're like, oh, well, he's getting out and he feels that he's gonna do this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'm not ever gonna do that. I mean, and that's just my preference, because I feel like someone that has it together, like I said, should be with somebody that has it together or is in the process and definitely on their way. Like, you can see their fruit blossoming that is almost ripe type situation. It's not where they're like, oh, well, I have all these hopes and dreams and aspirations and they don't have a plan. Like, no, I'm gonna need you to have a plan, and I'm gonna need you to be working through that plan to be with me, because I feel like I have my priorities in order, and I need you to as well. But I think where women go wrong in this situation, and men too, is like I said, you're not giving that person that's maybe in between the opportunity, or maybe it's a superficial thing like looks, where you're like, oh, well, they're this, or they're too big, or they're too fat, or they're, not very pretty, or, their hair's too short, or they're too short, they're too tall, they're too, whatever. I think that that's really what the issue is. And if we kind of take that out of play, I mean, I've always been the type is like, I'm gonna date somebody that's attractive to me. I don't need them to be attractive to everybody. Why would you want them to be attractive to everybody? I feel like I want to be the cuter one in this situation anyway. But I mean, in all seriousness, like, you definitely shouldn't be looking at superficial things, money, looks, all that. I mean, you should be independent enough for you to say that I can get with somebody else that's like-minded and we can build something. I don't need to marry a millionaire or whatever. So I just think that sometimes we just have our priorities out of whack, and that's sometimes why we're picking the wrong people, because a lot of time too, like, I've dated really cute, handsome guys and I'm like, oh, he's just so dreamy. Sorry, my thing was timing out. But anyway, so like, I've dated guys and I'm like, oh my God, they're just like so cute, like, to look at. And they were controlling, or they were arrogant. They just were superficial. And, some guys that think they're cute want you to buy them stuff. I'm like, No, that's not how this works, but thanks for playing. So yeah, it's just really, really hard. And then we'll sometimes keep dating that same person and keep dating that same person. It's a different person in a different body with a different face, but it's that same type of person. And so I think that it's just really important for us to check those kinds of things and really do some soul searching and really take your time to get to know somebody's heart, and before you fall in love and you feel like, oh, this is the person you should be with, definitely examine their heart. My third and final reason is you're not seeking relationship with God more than you're seeking relationship with other people. And this goes for men, goes for women. If your heart is not with God and on God more than it's you having all these goals and dreams and aspirations that you want him to give you, and you want him to be blessing you with these things, but yet you're not giving him your heart and your time, I think that that's a lot of the reason why God doesn't send us the right person. And this is like pretty much Bible for my channel, and I mention this in almost every video because I do think that it's so important. And I do think that like I was saying, I had my aha moment last year with this, and I think I heard it from Charles Stanley. If you guys don't listen to him, he's an old man, but you know what? He be preaching. So definitely check him out. He's got a lot of YouTube channels or YouTube videos. You can also download his app, the In Touch Ministries app. He just recently did a video on reasons why we fail, and I was like, oh my God, like eye-opening. So definitely check that out too. I mean, if you're struggling with stuff or you feel like your prayers aren't being answered and things aren't going right, definitely check that out. But anyways, so back to this, is that God is going to orchestrate your love life if you allow him to, but I think that he wants to get our attention first, and he wants to know that we have a heart for him, and he's not going to give a broken person to a person that's whole, like we definitely have to think about the fact that we need, if we're asking for a certain type of person, like we need to be that person too. He's not going to say, oh, well, you got all these things to iron out, but you know what? Here's this great person on a platter, like that's just not how he works, because he doesn't want you to corrupt anybody else. So he wants to bring two whole people together. And so if you don't have your mind and your heart right with him, he's not going to bring you somebody else that does have their heart and their mind right with him. And that's just logic. So I hope that you guys will think about that as well. If that's the missing piece possibly for why you're still single, is that you're not giving God your time and you're not allowing God to fill those lonely spaces and holes and things like that. Like I really felt like I just had revelation last summer, and like 2 months later, I mean, I'm not gonna say this is gonna be that fast, but like 2 months later, like I met my boyfriend, and I mean, things are really good with us, and he makes me feel like this was the type of guy that I should have been dating. I mean, I'm not gonna say that he's perfect or anything. I'm not gonna say that, he doesn't make mistakes and we don't have our own little tiffs and things like that. And, I can't say that it's gonna be something that we're, gonna get married. I hope so, but, things happen and people are fickle. But as far as the relationship with him, is like dating a Christian man has been a different kind of experience for me. And the way that he encourages me to go to church, the way he texts me every Sunday is like, you better be in church. And this Sunday I had my little nephew last night, so I didn't go today, and so I didn't even bother doing anything today. So yeah, but I mean, just having somebody that will say, I'm praying for you, and having somebody that's encouraging me to go to church and encouraging me to do the right things, and that will tell me when I'm wrong, but also comfort me when I need him as well. So it's just really been a completely different experience. And so I would hope that you all would be able to have that and find that. And that's what I want in a husband, somebody that's going to be supportive to me, somebody that's going to want to be my teammate and build with me and love me the way, God wants a husband to love a wife in the Bible. I mean, there's so much scripture about relationship in the Bible and what a husband and wife's responsibilities are. And so that's what I want. I mean, I want that Bible marriage or biblical marriage. I want God to be in my marriage and also in my relationship while I'm on my way there, because I don't want to make another mistake. I feel like I shouldn't have married my ex-husband. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, but, you know, I made a choice, and I had to live with it, and as a result, I got divorced. And so that's why I'm urging other people not to make the same mistakes that I did. And so I hope that you guys will get something out of this video, and if you would please share it as well, because you never know what someone else is going through. So you share this video, it might change somebody's life and their perspective on how they're looking at dating and relationships as well. So thank you guys for watching my video. Please share it and give it a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe before you go. I appreciate you guys for continuing to watch, and I will see you next time.